Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Wednesday the 29th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning earlier than I wanted to, but it wasn't too bad. Excuse me. Got the dogs outside, got them all taken care of, got them fed. Halo, who's here with us, has been kind of finicky eater. She does that off and on. It's kind of expected with her, but she just kind of eats when she wants to and whatnot. So we kind of kept her separated from Bruce, gave her more time to find her, her food at her speed. She's more of a grazer. She'll eat a little bit, then she'll go away. She'll eat a little bit and go away. Well, I can't have her food all the time, so we basically leave her food outside with me, and then she eats some and basically whatnot. So I gave her a food cube, thinking that might entice her a little bit, and she could roll it around and kind of get the reward of getting the food out of it. And if I kicked it, she'd eat the food off the ground where it fell out, but she would never roll the ball herself. So I had to kick the cube around a few times and she'd eat those pieces, but kind of got over it. And I was like, she won't starve. But we hung out there, had a few things get done, nothing major. It was windy as all get out today, so I actually moved my lawnmower back over and rolled my patio lanai, whatever you call it, cover down, and then the wind was whipping it around crazy. So I put like a big paver brick on it, and I'll park the lawnmower on top of the paver brick, and it holds it from whipping around like crazy. So I cut it. I had it custom made longer than what it needed to be, so I thought I was going to put it on the inside of the lanai, and instead I put it on the outside. So it works out fine, but it lays on the ground, which actually works out even better for me because I can drive the lawnmower up on it and park it there and help hold it down. So it works splendidly, really well. So I was running the 3D printer, did a 12 plus hour cut print on it, and it turned out splendid. I was really happy with it. Made a couple different items I've been making off and on. It always makes me a little nervous when prints on that long, because it seems like such a waste of time if it fails near the end. It's definitely, it sucks. So we had the one power one at the time that failed, and then it didn't start back up where it was, so I had to start that one all over again way back when. But I hate to see something along. I've got one that I need to print that's, I think, one day in like 2 hours, so 26 hours, and that one makes me a little on the, I don't know. I don't know why I'm nervous. It's just a few bucks of plastic, but it's more the losing a day of print time that sucks. So we'll see what happens with that whole thing, but I gotta get it printed here one of the days. I got a new filament. It's like what they call a rainbow color, and I thought the colors were going to change a lot more often. It's got a lot longer filament between color changes, so on the smaller parts you don't notice the color change. So I've got to use that one as a long print only to have it make sense for what it's doing. So if not, you just get like all green or all red or whatever. So that one's worked out real well for that long 12 plus hour print. Worked really, really well for that, so I was happy with it. Went ahead, I was basically hanging around, just not really doing a lot of nothing, playing with the dogs and getting some things done in the yard and whatnot. Went out for my run, and during my run I got reached out to from actually the real estate agent we brought our house from. She asked me if I could go let her dog out a couple times tomorrow and Friday and feed her cats. And it was like that weird time frame of super early in the morning and kind of mid-afternoon thing, which seems like a long time for the dog to go with only 2 drop-ins, which I'm not usually a fan of, but she knows her dog and she's, used to it and stuff, so not really a big deal. It's only for the 2 days. But I told her, I said, I've got dogs coming and stuff and whatnot for tomorrow that I'm going to do. I got to do it super early, and she's like 25 minutes away, so it kind of becomes that hour and a half long trip, and so I'll be getting up at like 5 in the morning to go. So I told her, I said, if you can find somebody else that can do it, feel free to do that, but if not, and then she reached out and said she had somebody else that'll do it, and next time she'll try and give me more heads up, and I was much more appreciative of that. But went ahead and decided I had I had a custom painting made for my wife for our anniversary, and the gentleman that painted it is over by Orlando area, about an hour 5 minutes away from me. So it was done. Bruce and I jumped in the truck. Halo didn't want to go. Asked her, and she's like, nope. She just laid back down on the couch next to Mom. So I'm like, okay, don't go. So Bruce and I went. We ended up taking the pickup truck, so I have cruise control basically, because my other vehicles don't have cruise control. And it was just chilly enough Dad didn't want to take the vet and had the top down the whole time. So went ahead, got over there, chat with him for longer than I should have. We were chatting a little bit, talking and just hanging out and talking about different things. Picked up the painting, brought it back to the house. Also left him one of my 3D printed cigar rest that has like a brick on the bottom and a skull on top, and he's going to try and paint it up and then try and sell like the cigar BDM cigar group kind of thing or something, trying to figure out what we can get out of it. And depending on how the painting goes, I'm going to paint, we're going to print out some more stuff for him to paint and work that route. So we might have a little collaborative going on. So I haven't figured out how we're doing it. If he's going to buy the pieces off me and resell them, or if we're going to split the proceeds, or if I'm going to basically, give him a couple items and then be like, hey, paint one of these up and give it me back. If I give him 3 or 4 items and he gives me back one custom painted the way I wanted it, we trade it out, or what we're going to do. But we'll figure it out as time comes on. So, but yeah, hung out chatted with him for a while. Went ahead. Partly the reason I ended up hiring him to do the painting was he ended up needing surgery, ended up off work way longer than I thought. It was one of those deals where they're going in for surgery and they're like, oh, we was going to do these things. You'll have a couple days off, move back to work, no big deal. There's a 2% chance we'll have to do this other part that will leave you like 6 weeks off. And he was like, okay, no big deal. Woke up from surgery and they go, yeah, you were 2%. So he's off for like 6 weeks, no weight bearing, no nothing on his leg. So it's really hindered him a little bit. He could use extra cash. So, and it made out for a good gift for my wife. So basically went ahead and I told him I didn't plan on seeing it until I give it to her also, so we'll see it together at the same time. And partly there, it's kind of nice. I just want to see what will happen with the gift thing. And then on top of that, I'm really not great about, like, if somebody does something for me and I'm not impressed with it, or if I am impressed with it, I don't show it very well. So I didn't want him thinking that I hated this painting or something. If I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. If I decided I want him thinking that, I'm like, nice painting. Like, he'd be like, oh, what does that mean? Type thing. So I just well, if you hide it from me, and then he won't be there when I open it up, I won't have to worry about that part either. So got back, ended up being a little later than I wanted to be. Then I went for my run, and it was going to be pretty late. So I told my wife and mother to eat whenever they wanted to, and it was all good there. So they went ahead and Mom made up like some kind of barbecued pork or barbecued beef thing, whatever roast she did in the slow cooker that she was able to basically just slow cook out, usually like a pulled pork sandwich type thing, or probably guess it'd be pulled beef sandwich. And I didn't realize that was what her plan was with the buns. So I just mixed it up in the bowl with my Parmesan potatoes, kind of like a mix, just kind of stirred it up in together. So I ended up eating it like a pot pie type setup. So after I had the bowl already ready, heated back up and stuff, she's like, oh, there's buns there. And I'm like, oh, I thought they were for something else. So that's all good. It is what it is. So ended up knocking that out, watched a little bit of TV. My wife was super exhausted. She's been dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of crap going on in her life right now that she has no control over, but it can change, go poorly for her. So she's been just worried about that. And she's also been trying to get a bunch of extra stuff caught up at work and get ahead of things, because she's going to be gone for our anniversary trip. We're going to be gone for like 8 days or some crap on the cruise that I definitely know she's been working crazy hours and just whatnot. So she had mentioned she was pretty tired, and I said, come home, eat and go to bed. Like, as soon as I told her, I said, just eat as soon as you get home. Don't wait for me. Don't do none of that kind of stuff. Because often we try and eat together, but she's like, cool. So she came home, she ate, and she laid down. Then she kind of napped off and on throughout the evening, and then just back and forth. I came in a couple times, talked to her and checked on her and stuff and whatnot. Hung outside with the dogs. We just played out there, had myself a nice little cigar, enjoy this gorgeous, gorgeous weather. Ended up having to put on my woolly socks because it's a little bit chilly out, but overall, beautiful, beautiful weather. So that's pretty much all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.